Well, after a private call to the White House went unreturned, the mayor of Chicago had to publicly correct a senior presidential advisor, who also happens to be the president's daughter, for an inaccurate tweet about violence in the city. Tuesday morning, Ivanka Trump wrote, "As we grieve over the evil mass shootings in El Paso and Dayton, let us not overlook that Chicago experienced its deadliest weekend of the year, with 7 dead and 52 wounded near a playground in the Windy City, and little national outrage or media coverage. We mustn't become numb to the violence faced by inner-city communities every day." Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot said that the tweet was misleading. Lightfoot said that there had not been 7 dead and 52 wounded in one incident, and that the site of one of the shootings was near a park, not a playground. Late yesterday afternoon, Lightfoot said the White House had not responded to their call about the tweet and expressed frustration as they grapple with the violence and Trump's use of her city.
She got the numbers wrong. She got the location wrong. That's the danger of trying to govern via tweet. If they want to help, they should actually call us and ask for specifics, which we'd be happy to share. And we would offer them specific ways in which the federal government can actually partner with us to help address the issues on the ground. But by sending out something like that, having zero contact with anybody in official capacity in the city of Chicago, and then getting it wrong, that's not helpful. That's the danger of somebody with a platform and audience that time that doesn't know what they're talking about and getting the fundamental facts wrong that they could easily figure out if they had the decency to actually reach out to us if they wanted to be a constructive and engaged partner.
Yeah, and this problem, Reverend Al, is pervasive. You have Veronica Escobar offering and asking to speak to the president before he comes to her district. Won't speak to her. A lack of dialogue, a lack of intellectual ability to know information and to have a platform like Ivanka Trump has or the president has, and to be so abusive, to be so uncaring, and really, in a way, unfeeling about what is going on, to be sending out tweets that really add to their platform and do nothing to help the people directly involved, to make no attempt to talk to the mayor of Chicago, but to tweet flippantly. Yeah, I can see why she is disgusted, absolutely disgusted.
Again, we are seeing this total insensitivity. We are talking about people's lives. We're talking about somebody's son or daughter or husband or wife.
Yes.
And we're comparing numbers of, oh, well, it's maybe bad here, but you're not talking about how bad it is there. First of all, Mayor Lightfoot is right. You're talking about citywide numbers that unfortunately has been going on a long time, and Donald Trump has been numb to it. He says we've got to do something about Chicago and has never done anything. You're comparing that to one location, one incident with a man writing a manifesto saying the things that your father, Ivanka, if that's who's the one we're addressing here, saying the things that your father planted in the national psyche. It's not a comparison. Lightfoot is right there. But even there, we ought not be comparing the pain and misery that families are facing, this back and forward. We ought to be reaching out, and we ought to be saying, how do we deal with both the inner city violence in Chicago that Trump claimed he was going to do, and this white nationalism and white supremacy that clearly lays in El Paso. I cannot believe this comparative kind of politics has anything but an unhealthy contribution to what ought to be in the national dialogue at this moment, while we're talking about burying people that should have never been killed.
Yeah, Ivanka got her facts wrong, and it did have the air of distracting from the other shootings. But the fact remains, her central point, that Chicago had a terrible weekend and has many terrible weekends. And there is a major problem in the city of Chicago that persists. And so perhaps a more productive, as the mayor said, approach would be helpful there, because Ivanka is right. There is a terrible problem in Chicago with gun violence.
Yeah, perhaps she could go to Chicago and talk to the mayor face to face and walk the streets and learn something. We'll be right back.